You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. Welcome to beautiful Tampa Bay, where today we've got some college tennis action for you. The Shockers out of Wichita State on the road to face off against the University of South Florida Bulls. We're live from the USF Varsity Tennis Complex, and so excited you are with us. Drew Felios alongside the former Michigan State star Jessica Green, and got a big match here this morning, bright and early. Why are you so excited, Jessica?
Very excited to see this matchup, the first athletic conference matchup for Wichita State today, and USF's going to look to turn things around on their side. Got tremendous talent on both sides of the court here today. Wichita State, very hungry team coming in. They are led by Xingtong Wang, straight out of China. Yeah, she's their number one singles player, plays number one doubles. She's super tough. She's ranked about 120 in the country, so she's going to be looking to keep things rolling today on both sides of the court. So much international flavor. We'll have more on that in just a minute. But Giorgia Rosselli out of Italy, she's the current American Conference Player of the Week. Yeah, she's had a really great spring season so far. She's going to look to carry that over into conference play. You can just tell looking at her watching practice today that she's just super intense and going to play on that number one doubles court as well. Let's talk about these Bulls. Melissa Senli, the junior out of Turkey. She's the team leader. Definitely the team leader. She's very tough on the singles court. She'll play number one. And on the double side, number two doubles, going to come out there looking to play really strong and very steady today. USF also loaded with freshmen. They use it to their advantage. So Sienna Leeson, a very talented youngster. Yeah, freshman playing number one doubles, not easy to do. You know, trying to gain experience with each match, and she'll keep it strong on the doubles and singles court as well. This match represented by countries all over the world, and I really mean that. Look at the amount of international representation. It is truly remarkable here. By far more international players here today than players from the United States, but that's what college tennis is all about these days on the men's and women's side. Just, you know, all these coaches trying to bring the best players they can into their universities, and it's very exciting to watch, and all the languages being spoken. It's fun. Could not ask for a more beautiful morning, too. Players going out on the court. We're just about ready for first serve. It's Wichita State, and it's South Florida. Coming up next on ESPN+. Just about to get rolling. The Shockers of Wichita State taking on the South Florida Bulls. Both teams trotting their athletes out on the court. We start with doubles, as traditional here at the collegiate level, and talk about these matchups here. Jessica, it is going to be fun, 1 through 3. Yeah, you know, the number one doubles team from Wichita State, Wong and Rosselli, have had a very, very good spring season. You know, bring a lot of experience onto the court. On the other side, Leeson and Marson are trying to pick things up. A rough weekend for them this past weekend, but, you know, bringing that experience, and they'll look to pick things up here today. Outstanding head coaches on both sides. Christina Moros, her 10th season leading South Florida. Former 4-time All-American as a player at Texas. She has worked with the best in the game, including the legend Nick Bollettieri. So tremendous coaching in this match, as well as the national championship over at Texas. Absolutely. Colin Foster on the other side for Wichita State. And we're just about to get underway. So it's Sienna Leeson and Maggie Marcone for South Florida. Wong and Rosselli for Wichita State. Shockers serving first.
a beautiful shot.
And you see already right off the bat, Wong not afraid to take that return up the line and just, that's an aggressive way to start a match here today.
It's actually the Bulls starting first on the serve. Jessica, you love the game of tennis, especially the outdoor game. Couldn't ask for better conditions here today.
Yeah, perfect weather here, no clouds in the sky. It's a great day for tennis. It'll get a little warmer later.
Long, so South Florida, well done that time.
Yeah, both great movement on both sides of the court there.
Of course, the dynamic in collegiate doubles, not just about the players on the court, it's about the chemistry, right? How well they work together.
Definitely, you know, player at the baseline setting up the player at the net. You saw there, Roselli had a couple chances to put the ball away at the net and just didn't quite do enough with it.
So 15 all here. Keep in mind we've got 3 matches going on at the same time, so we'll try and keep you as honest as possible here this morning. Always fun calling a collegiate tennis match, so much action all around the complex.
Definitely. Hear noises from all the courts, players saying, come on, trying to pump up their teammates. She finally got a first serve in there after double faulting that last point. That was a great serve.
5 different freshmen on this USF Bulls roster. Coach Christina Moros talked about that to us, Jessica, how this team is so young, taking experience by experience and trying to use it to their advantage.
It's tough these days with the transfers, and you know, she lost a couple girls to the transfer portal, but seems to have good team chemistry, and the freshmen are gaining experience. They're all playing.
Really good looking ground strokes on both sides. Oh, well done by the freshman.
Yeah, great finish at the net there from Leeson. Both sides working really hard from the baseline to try and get an advantage at the net on that point, and all 4 at the net, and the Bulls able to put that one away.
So 40-30 here, advantage for South Florida. They'll look to get on the board here in this first set. So a point on the board here for the Bulls. A good start.
Good start, good serving. You know, I saw USF trying to get into the net, which is really important. Start off the doubles match.
Going to switch over here to court number 2. Bulls did take game 1 in this match here. Remember, just 1 set here in doubles. Melissa Senley representing.
It was a great return. Didn't give much of an option for Wichita State to get that ball back, and the Bulls able to put that one away with a nice, simple, clean backhand volley winner. A little bit of an angle.
So 40-15. See head coach Colin Foster there trotting out onto the court for Wichita State. It's been a long road trip for these ladies. certainly want to make the most of this trip here to Tampa this morning. And this one goes just a little bit deep, looks like.
Yeah, and I think Nikolenko hit that second to last volley, and I think it was going to go long, and they could have won that point and held their serve in that game. But again, you're at the net. The ball's coming at you so fast. It's tough to make that quick second decision. And you know, normally it's up to your partners at the baseline to call it for you. Say out, you know, don't hit it. But there it came right at her head, and she kind of just blocked it back.
40-30. And USF has come back. So it's 40-all now.
That ball came right at her body. She wasn't able to move around it quick enough. Kind of anticipated the poach there, moved forward into the middle, and then it came right at her, and it was just too tough for her to get around the ball to hit a volley there.
Ready for a second ball. They bring it back.
Oh, well done by the Bulls.
Some great baseline hitting there from the freshman. Great backhands, just stayed so steady. Gave her partner an opportunity to finally get that poach. And again, hit that beautiful backhand volley angle. It's just a beautiful shot there from her. She looks very confident in it. Short take back. So important when you're at the net, not to take a big swing.
So the team of Falster and Rude.
Cousins.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I'd love to play college tennis with my cousin.
The Norwegians representing South Florida. Both hailing from Norway. And both freshmen. So double fault right there. But still a good lead here for the team of Falster and Rude. Charlotte Rude, a player that we're really excited to see play singles here today. She has moved up in the Bulls lineup. Oh, pulled the string on that one, Jessica.
Yeah, that was a really tough shot. She was pulled really far back, almost to the fence, and just kind of swung for the fence on that one, and caught the Bulls looking to poach on that one, knowing that she was pushed so far back. But hey, sometimes you got to take that chance and stay aggressive, and if you get past a couple times, it's okay. At least you know you were doing the right thing. You were trying to play aggressive.
So love 30 now. South Florida serving again.
Great hands with that touch. Just stayed so positive there at the net.
15-30 now. Bulls trying to come back here.
Knowing that both of the Wichita State players were far behind the baseline, she kind of cut under that ball and used some backspin and hit a short little angle volley.
Jessica to be a great doubles player. It's not just power, it's control, isn't it? Especially near the net.
Definitely, the control and the patience of the net is so important, knowing when to move forward, knowing when to stay back, knowing when to poach.
Went just wide. So now 15-40.
tough to hit so many balls from the baseline in doubles. You really need to try and work your way in and hit an angle, try and stay aggressive, especially playing against a team they're both staying back for Wichita State. So the more you can get in and hit some shorter balls, change the speed up, hit some slice, get the volley.
So 15-40 here. Bulls still serving in the far court. That goes awry, and the game there to the Shockers.
The Shockers will get one break back there. Look to serve to stay in this doubles match on court 3. And this morning I was wondering if we were going to get a celebrity sighting today with Casper Ruud coming to watch his sister, thinking he won't be playing in Miami for a few days. Why not take the trip up to Tampa to watch his sister play? Casper Ruud, ranked 6th in the world right now. Exciting to watch him play. French Open finalist a couple years ago.
All right, let's check back in on court number 1. So we got the team of Sienna Leeson and Margarita Marcon taking on the team of Wong and Rosselli. 4-3 in favor of Wichita State. 30-30 here with the Shockers serving. So a little bit of a slow start for Wichita State, Jessica, but it seems like on all the courts we're watching, they're starting to really wake up.
Definitely, and you see on this court, they're up a break, trying to serve to get that 5-3 advantage.
Head back over here to court number 3, trying to keep you honest here on all the action. Team of Falster and Ruud. So love 15 here. Shockers serving.
Got a second serve from Nikolenko. We'll see what USF decides to do with this return, if they'll stay aggressive and try and move in. A little bit too much firepower there.
All. And now it's going to be 30-15 in favor of Wichita State.
A little bit of inexperience showing there at 15-all, and you're trying to close out a doubles match here, as we only play one set in doubles. Got to make that return. Got to keep the pressure on your opponents. You're down serving at 15-all. Much better return there, kept the pressure on Nikolenko. Doesn't have a big serve, just kind of puts it in play to start the point. We'll see if Ruud can bounce back after that last return miss and put something in play.
Assistant coaches for Wichita State, Ariana Rocket and Maya Tahan. And you're familiar with a few of them, from what I understand, Jessica?
Yeah, Maya played her first 4 years of college tennis at University of Miami. So I got to know her a little bit there. She's from Israel, where my sister plays professional basketball, and had actually seen my sister play in a game before I knew her, before she came to college, and happy to see her continuing her college career on the other side, being a coach. It's great for her. And
so we've got set point here. Served up for the South Florida Bulls. They can sense it. Would be big here for Falster and Ruud. have to wait at least a point.
She was falling back a little bit on that forehand. I think Rude needs to be a little bit more active at the net, try and not necessarily have to poach one of those volleys, but just be moving around so much that give her a fake and she might get a volley to be able to put away.
40 all. Oh, went for it and came up just short.
Yeah, she ran for it on the right one too, just didn't quite get low enough to hit that. It was a tough shot. It was very low over the net. She had made a few of those in the last game, and just that one was just hit the tape of the net.
So 5-3, South Florida still leading, but unable to put the Shockers away there on court 3. Back here to court 1. So Wichita State on the verge here of taking this one, but the Bulls leading right now. Down in the set, 3-5, but leading 40-15 in the game. And South Florida serving.
Big point here is they're looking to hold their serve here and put the pressure back on Wichita State to have to serve out the set.
So now you're looking at court number 2, and this is nip and tuck as well. 40 all and 5-3 in favor of South Florida. USF can put this away here, Jessica, with a point here.
Yeah, it's either the match point or a game point to get a break back here. So this is what it all comes down to, just about.
Nonetheless, you've got all these matches here hanging in the balance. How big is it to get that first one in the books?
Yeah, it's definitely big, because especially with the other two courts are so close, it just gives your team a little bit more momentum, a little bit more encouragement.
Wide, held up well by Durrani Naroshin, and USF ruling court number 2. Their 2 doubles team gets it done.
Yeah, Coach Morris is going to be very happy with that one, especially after court 3 is in a tight battle there and a little bit of inexperience. She knows that, so maybe that gives them a little bit more confidence, saying, okay, I know I've got to close it out over in court 3. And as you saw here, the Bulls able to hold on court 1 to put the pressure back on Wichita State.
So it's 5-4 here on court number 1. Team of Leeson and Marcone trying to hold up, and we're back to court 3 here. This one certainly has been interesting. So 5-3 in favor of the Bulls. 15:30 here in the game. Two freshmen out of Norway able to tie it at 30.
Yeah, such good patience there and on the baseline by Rude, and her partner really doing a good job about trying to poach and get a ball and being very active in the net. And although she wasn't able to poach and get a ball at the net, I think it just kept putting pressure on Wichita State to try and do something bigger and make sure they keep the ball away from her, and able to draw the error there, bring back to 30 all.
Jessica, you mentioned that they were cousins. They look like twin sisters, don't they?
Just about. You know, the typical blonde hair, blue eye Norwegians.
30 all. Oh, had the free swing at it, and maybe the sun impeded her that time, just couldn't put it away.
Oh, I think she should have hit a swing volley on that one. It wasn't so high, and I think you're right. I think the sun did catch her a little bit, and she took her eye off it for a second. But hey, we've all been there, done that. So we'll give her a free pass on that one, even though it gives the Shockers a break point on this game to get back on serve here. The Bulls will need to regroup.
Here's some of the Bulls faithful cheering on South Florida here. So 30-40. Fauster and Ruud trying to put away Wichita State. That's easier said than done.
And she made up for it with that one. She was ready to pounce on that one, and she took my advice and she hit a swing volley on that one.
So meanwhile,
so we've got now a game point for Wichita State, a match point for the Bulls. That's what makes college tennis so exciting. So much can happen at the same time. Love to see Foster here be very aggressive at the net.
so this is 40 all. And the Shockers able to hold it down. So 5-4, Shockers trying to claw back, and just moments ago on court number 1, Wichita State talked about how their team, Wong and Rosselli, started a little bit slow, but really kicked it into overdrive. This was for the match.
See Rosselli there with a perfect touch, backhand volley, was just in the right place in the middle of the court, anticipating the cross-court shot from the Bulls, and we're at 1-all in the doubles here. And I think a little bit of what Coach Morris talked about yesterday, a little bit of the inexperience of this number 3 doubles team, both being freshmen, even though they have traveled around the world playing, top junior tennis, is different when you see here your teammates lined up on the court next to you watching. All the pressure's on you. It's going to come down to your court. You're up 5-2. You've gotten a break back.
Tatiana Nikolenko and Annie Nettle representing Wichita State. Charlotte Ruud, Josephine Fauster for South Florida. So keep in mind as you're watching this about 15 minutes ago, Jessica, was 5-1 in favor of South Florida. Wichita State just battling back here, climbing a mountain.
Definitely, and I can say in my entire life, I've never seen a server and her partner on the same side of the court like that before. It's just bizarre. I honestly didn't even know that was allowed. I'm not sure there's a name for that. I'm going to have to ask their coach.
This is one of those moments, too, where all the teams, all the players here, Jessica, will gather around this doubles match because all eyes on this match. It's the only one in progress right now.
Right, so this is the deciding match for the point. Whoever wins this will get that most important doubles point. You see the error there from Wichita State, and love 30 now for the Bulls. 2 points away from this doubles point victory.
Team tennis certainly different. You said it, Jessica, different from playing normal events on the junior circuit as you're coming up through the ranks.
And again, with this most bizarre situation here.
Oh, just missed.
Yeah, that was a great backhand by Nikolenko. Really stayed low to the ground. And although she hit it right at the Bulls at the net there, it just stayed so low, and it was try to block it back off her racket, but just a little bit too much, and it sailed long.
30-15.
As you see Nikolenko backing up, anticipating a tough return.
Oh, just out.
Drawing another error there from the Bulls. Playing two at the baseline seems to be working out pretty well for them in the last few games. Just outlasting the freshman duo from the Bulls. Able to draw a few more errors.
30 all. That sun is shining bright right now on court number 3.
Another error there from Rude from the baseline. Just trying to do a little bit too much. Being pushed back so deep, really just need to keep the ball in the middle of the court there. Using the middle of the court in doubles is so important. It gives your opponent no angle, nowhere to really attack you from, and you don't see a lot of that on this court 3 here. Mostly going cross court, cross court, cross court.
40-30. So Wichita State a point away from tying this at 5 apiece. Oh, great get. Big time.
Yeah, she really pushed Nikolenko back on that side of the court. She's standing so far back, halfway between the baseline and the fence, that ball a little bit lower, a little bit shorter, and she didn't hit through that one as much as she had the last couple, but it was a great get. Ball was about to bounce over the side fence, and she was able to get it back.
So yet another opportunity here for South Florida to close out this match. Huge point.
I think she heard me talk about using the middle of the court.
One of the biggest points of the season from a double standpoint there for Charlotte Rude and Josephine Foster and the two Norwegians. The freshmen find a way to get it done, and it's a great start by the home team. The Bulls, they take 2 of 3 in doubles from Wichita State. We have got a good one. Singles coming up in just a few minutes. The Shockers and Bulls from Tampa on ESPN+. We welcome you back to Tampa. Beautiful setting here on a Wednesday morning. South Florida has taken 2 of 3 of the doubles matches, so a 1-0 lead, first to 4 wins here in the collegiate tennis format. Here's the results of that doubles action. Exciting on all courts. I mean, our heads were on a swivel.
For sure, and credit to the freshman from USF, able to get it done on court 3 after being up 5-1, getting to 5-4, and a lot of nerves, but you know, slowly earning that experience on court 3 together, and able to close out the doubles point 6-4.
Yeah, the team of Fauster and Ruud, really fun to watch. Cool to watch them come together, mature, and again, gain that experience for Christina Moros' club. As now we turn our attention to singles. And again, no shortage of talent on the court here this morning. The lineups from top to bottom, really exciting. We've got Wong against Senli, the 2 number 1s, battling Rosselli and Ruud. Charlotte Ruud comes in here with some hype. As you mentioned, Jessica, she is the sister of the great Casper Ruud, one of the best tennis players in the world. Kristina Kudryavtseva, the number 3, against Sienna Leeson.
Yeah, I think it'll be really exciting to watch that top court of singles. I think they'll be battling it out. You know, every point will be very important there, and Ruud moving up to the number 2 spot, really showing her prowess on the singles court even as a freshman. And Kudryavtseva is, you know, pretty exciting to watch. Had a lot of wins this season, and should be very exciting.
Number 4 through 6, Shanteva against Marcone. Maggie has been outstanding this year for the Bulls. Nikolenko and Vargas, Kelly Vargas, also goes by Lowana. She is out of Colombia. We're excited to watch her play. And Josephine Falster, also the Norwegian freshman in the number 6 for USF. Annie Nuttall for Wichita State tries to face her today.
For sure. And, you know, Vargas we didn't get to see on the doubles court, so we'll get the first sighting of her at the number 5 singles spot. And it's going to be a battle all the way down from 1 through 6. And I think USF winning that doubles point was huge for them. You know, they haven't won a lot of doubles points this year. It's got to give them a huge momentum boost going into the singles.
So a full slate of singles matches coming at you. We'll try and follow them the best we can here on ESPN+. Real treat to get a chance to broadcast these matches. Jessica, I know you live in the South Florida area. You've seen the growth of collegiate tennis over the years from your days at Michigan State. You oversee what's happening down at the University of Miami right now. Yeah,
it's really exciting to watch, and you know, a lot more college tennis being seen on the apps and on the phones and on the computers, and it's just great exposure for the sport. And I think so many players are now coming to college and then turning pro instead of just going directly to turn pro. So I think it's a great stepping stone. You know, players are playing a lot longer these days, so why not come play in college, and gives them a lot more exposure and, you know, the resources they might need for a couple years or 4 years to train and improve their game. So it's very exciting.
So you saw Charlotte Ruud getting warmed up there moments ago, and there is Melissa Senli, the junior out of Turkey, just finds a way to outlast her opponent. She has really fared well in some of the real pressure cooker moments this year, and that number 1 slot for the Bulls. One match comes to mind earlier on this year against Texas A&M. She was leading the number 1 player for the Aggies whenever that match was. Stop Senli certainly doing her job and much more from a leadership standpoint for USF.
Yeah, and you know, she's had few close matches where she was up a set, up in the second set, but not able to finish those matches and perhaps get herself up, you know, ranked in singles this year. So credit to her for, you know, keeping strong and not letting that frustrate her.
Zhentong Wang, 5-foot sophomore, actually 5'5" out of China. Talked about how the international players have really changed the game here, especially in the United States. Her record for the season, 8-6, a solid number 1. She's going to be a handful against Melissa Senli on that court 1.
Definitely. She had a very good fall season, came out of the fall ranked 67 in the country, now up to 120, but, you know, made the ITA fall championships in singles, which is, you know, credit to her hard work and improvement. And
so Melissa Senli, 7-2 on the year. The number 1 for the Bulls. Having an outstanding year. Good vibes for the team as well. Underway on court 1. How about that forehand?
And right off the bat, a forehand winner off the first ball off the ground. And just, you can see how she's going to run around her backhand and want to hit a ton of forehands today. Stay very aggressive.
Certainly exciting times here on campus at South Florida with a tennis center officially in the making. That's certainly going to change the game from a student-athlete standpoint. Well done by Wong.
Yeah, a lot of forehands are going to see in this match, and she's able to dictate and move Senley around the court really well, and got that short ball and just moved in, no hesitation, and put that forehand away. As we talked about, the new tennis center, a huge game changer for Coach Morris and her program for recruiting, resources, just being able to have a home base for her team, for both teams really.
Oh, that forehand blistering.
3 points and 3 forehand winners.
30-15 here. Oh, how about that winner?
And a fourth forehand winner. There you go with 4 points, but great on the run forehand cross-court pass. Just such a classic shot. Feels so good when that happens too. After Senley set that point up really well, just didn't quite do, just not enough with that last ball, and Wong able to take advantage.
Game one taken by Wang.
See Senley's backhand, just a little bit of an awkward stance when she hits the ball. She almost waits for the ball to come to her, and she's almost leaning a little bit backwards before she hits it. So when the ball gets close to her body, it's really tough for her to accelerate and hit out.
Wichita State is a team, they're in the top 50 for the first time since 2015, Jessica. So exciting times in the program. These young ladies coming here with a lot of momentum, but this is their 4th match playing during spring break. I mean, I know they love tennis, but spring break, man, playing all tennis.
Yeah, well, they're 3-0, and they end their trip in Tampa. Coach said they're going to beach this afternoon, so hopefully he still takes them if regardless of win or lose. But yeah, it's nice to be able to be in Florida for spring break. Obviously, they were in Louisiana for a few days, and came out of there 3-0, got some big wins. Like you said, their best ranking in 10 years.
So now Melissa Senley serving. See if Melly can put some points together here.
Stay there, every ball.
That one's going to sail long.
Good discipline.
So 5 straight points for Wang. Senley trying to get on track here. Court 2 also following. Charlotte Rude, see her right there, battling Georgia Rosselli. Rosselli serving here, Rude on the right side of your screen. Araceli in number 2 singles, 8-6 on the year. And we've talked about Rude, the freshman, moving up into that number 2 slot. How will she respond? This is a great litmus test for her, see where she is at in her career. I mean, when you've had the chance like Rude has to travel the world, be around your brother, you'll see things in tennis that not a lot of players get to see and experience. But then you come to the collegiate game, it's a little bit more down to earth, and now you can grind out and just flat out become a better player.
Yeah, I think she's able to work on her game. Probably, I'm sure growing up, she was obviously a top player in Norway, but a lot of attention on her brother, and, obviously able to share the resources that he had coaching, although, their dad is his coach. And, but just even having that experience of traveling and knowing what it takes to be at the top of the game in the entire world and what that's done for their family. And
40-15.
Her game has obviously translated well into college. Being a freshman and able to move up slowly into the number 2 spot today. Just beautiful strokes. Takes the ball early.
And that's going to be long that time, so 40-30 now.
Get out, you have the court, running this way. Get behind it and get some better direction on the cross-court forehand. Here we go.
So 40-30. And that's going to be the game. So one apiece there on court 2 in the first set. Good chance to listen to Colin Foster too right there. Always coaching, always teaching. He's got his 2 little ones here this morning as well. They're running around the complex.
Hopefully their spring breaks matched up and they're not skipping school all week, but it's great he's able to bring his kids.
All right, so this is Kristina Kudryaseva in the near court for Wichita State. And in the far court, Sienna Leeson, freshman from Australia for South Florida. So Kristina here up a game, trying to extend to a 2-0 lead. To the net that time for Leeson.
As we move up and down the court, see the different style of play from all the players. One of the fun things about college tennis is you got the hard hitters, you got the grinders, you got the quote-unquote pushers that are putting balls up in the air and frustrating their opponents, not giving them any pace.
So it's a 2-0 lead here for Kristina. Set number 1, Wichita State. Just get the sense around the courts, doing some pretty good work here, a good response in singles after South Florida was able to get the point in doubles. Sienna's got a tremendous serve, big forehand as well. Her fall season did not go the way she planned it, but she has really bounced back. She's come into her own. Big moment right here for Sienna. See a little bit of frustration on the far side.
Yeah, a little bit of inconsistency there. Just feeling a little bit of pressure, being down 2-0, going for a little bit too much. Again, another freshman playing in the lineup for Coach Moros here. Gonna try to look to use her big serve and finish off points with her backhand. Saw her there using the slice to try and change things up, mix things up, frustrate her opponent a little bit. Not able to move up to that ball quick enough and get under it enough to, and she missed that one in the net. So now serving up 30-15, try and get on the board in this game.
And double fault there for Sienna Leeson. So again, a little bit of inconsistency and a bit of frustration as she continues to try and just get on the board, get that first point up there.
Another unforced error there. Just doesn't seem like she feels super comfortable starting off this match. Just going for a little bit too much, and instead of working the points, moving the ball side to side a little bit, getting a rhythm going. Another break point here for Shockers. Using that slice again. Has drawn a couple errors from Kudryavtseva. Perhaps that's something she wants to use a little bit more, change things up. Throw her opponent off of her game. Have a deuce point here coming up quickly to the ad side.
How big is this point coming up here, especially for Sienna?
She needs to get on the board here, able to hold her serve. And on the other side, trying to get another break and keep the momentum going, staying up 3-0.
40-all.
Just wide, and again, just going for a little bit too much.
So a tough spot there for Leeson to be in. Let's check in on court number 4 here, as you've got Margarita Marcon, goes by Maggie, and she's battling Theodora Shanteva. Maggie in the near court, Theodora in the far court, serving. Really good drop that time. Extremely effective.
Yeah, able to bring her into the net, and she just couldn't get there quick enough.
So good work done on court number 4. Margherita, the freshman from Italy. She is half Italian and half Russian. That's a really fun mix for the Bulls. Theodora Shanteva, meanwhile, and that number 4 slot, 8-6 on the year. She's trailing down a couple games here.
Three-two here as they change sides.
Margherita, one of those players, Jessica, that's extremely boisterous on the court, really lets you know when she does something well, gets pumped up. Again, just a first-year performer. Certainly made an impression on this Bulls program here, 2025.
Coach Morris talked about how her Russian side is really showing on the court, and sometimes she needs to use the Italian side to calm herself down a bit and stay a little steadier. But I think without her Russian side, she probably wouldn't be here, so you know.
Yep. Right down the line. Beautifully done by Shanteva.
Yeah, using her height there. She's so tall that ball comes up, sits up a little bit high, but for her it's not, and just really cracked that one straight down the line with her lefty backhand.
Shanteva hailing from Greece. She's a junior. Shanteva approaching the net. Fetching a ball that time. We're ready to resume play.
Trading backhand winners there. She gets that one to go cross court. Far out of reach of Shanteva.
$15 all. And double fault on the serve there. So it's going to be 15-30. You're playing a team the caliber of Wichita State, the unforced errors. You've got to minimize them, Jessica, as much as possible.
Definitely, and gotta stay on serve. I'm gonna have to make some more first serves. See, they're playing the let serve. Shanteva doing a great job there of coming in and taking that ball early and just not giving her opponent any time to recover to get that ball back.
Yeah, and you really hear the grunts coming from both sides here, don't you?
Yeah, definitely both loud and in a good way, very positive so far. And
is that distracting when you're playing against them?
Nah, get used to it. First serve miss there. And another double fault. She's not going to be happy about that one. Loses her serve to go down and break 4-2.
So not the way you want to go down in a game. Shanteva adds another here. She'll get the serve back. She's doubled the total of Marcone, 4-2. So down the line here, we got cameras all around the complex. This is Kelly Vargas, sophomore out of Columbia, swinging for South Florida. Tatiana Nikolenko on the other side, hailing from Miami. Came from the University of Miami, her last school. She originally hails from Kazakhstan.
Yeah, after playing 2 years in Miami, she went home for a year, took a year off, and ended up finding a spot for her here at Wichita State. Seems to be working out for her, playing 5 in the lineup. Adding some good experience playing in the ACC conference down in Miami. Not too far away from here. Clearly she loves the warm weather and the sun.
15-40 here. Keep an eye on the backhand of Vargas. It is outstanding. There's Nikolenko. Oh, beautiful shot.
Yeah, just really moving Vargas side to side and took that ball on the rise in the middle of the court and just really simple backswing and just able to hit that forehand down the line for a winner. See Vargas switching rackets there. Maybe the tension wasn't working out for her. Something going on with it. Switch it up.
Can listen in just a little bit too. Some good coaching going on right there. Evened up at 2 apiece. Set number 1.
See the firepower there. Backhand you spoke about earlier. So tough, just swings really freely. So much pace on the ball, spin, depth. Really tough shot, able to set up her point to that backhand for sure.
Let's go, Melly!
So love 15.
That ball got away from her a little bit. She wasn't able to move her feet to catch up with it. Draws the air.
Just to keep you updated right now, in set number 1 across the board, it's 3-1 in favor of Wichita State on court 1, 4-2 in favor of South Florida on court number 2. So every single point, so important. That's going to go awry.
See the differences in both these girls' games. Vargas with really hard balls that stay deep with a lot of topspin. She's taking the ball on the rise, and Nikolenko has more of a traditional strokes, a lot flatter, and just really looking to grind and just get the ball back, Can play aggressive when she needs to, but prefers to just stay steady from the baseline. big miss there from Wichita State with that swing volley. It's a little bit long, a little bit wide, excuse me. Not able to capitalize on constructing such a good point. Went for a little bit too much.
Saw Nikolenko too. She maybe thought that ball grazed the line or was in. But it will be a point here for Vargas, and she is back on top here, 3-2. It is 40-30 now. Check that. Okay, let's go down the line here. Court number 6, Josephine Falster, who was outstanding in doubles, battling in singles here. Annie Nettle, the German.
So they played each other in doubles, and now they're playing each other in singles. So that little taste of each other's games.
So 4-2 here in favor of Nettle. There's Annie's numbers on the air.
I always say that your number 6 player, you're only as good as your number 6 player. It's kind of the linchpin of your team. Your number 6 needs to be your most determined player, who you can count on at the bottom of the lineup, that you know that no matter how long they're going to stay out there and grind for it, you know you can always count on them.
Not a lot of experience for Josephine, so big opportunity for her here today. 40-15 here. In danger of going down 5-2. $40-30.
Great return there from Falster. Sets up a deciding deuce point here. Let's see what side she'll keep it on the ad side again. So a chance for her to get back on serve here.
Falster trying to keep it close. Big point. And that one's going to go awry. So Nuttall extending that lead 5-2. Here in set number 1, Wichita State putting the heat on South Florida. Court number 1 continues to unfold. Melissa Senley and Xin Tong Wang. We'll be back, check in on this match, and keep you posted here from the Tennis Center in South Florida.
Come on. Hey, what do you want your teammates to see right now? Right here, come on. You can do this.
Live look at the varsity tennis courts here on the campus at the University of South Florida. Drew Felios, Jessica Green with you, and our fabulous ESPN Plus crew, South Florida and Wichita State. This has been a battle since the start. South Florida getting the better of the Shockers in doubles play. Singles right now a bit of an edge to the visitors from Wichita State. This is a look at the court number 1, Melissa Senley. In the far court for the Bulls, Zintong Wang for Wichita State. Left side of your screen. So that is a game for Wichita State, and their advantage now extended to 4-2 here in set 1.
Yeah, and Wang able to get that first break here in the first set, the match, able to go up 4-2 and look to keep things rolling on her serve, drawing a couple errors from Senley in that game.
Any trends you notice here, Jessica, just watching these matches hopping from court to court here? I know that's a broad question, but it seems like there's just a different storyline on each court unraveling.
For sure. I think on this first court, a lot of firepower from both sides. You see another forehand winner there from Senley. Just seems like Wang's been a little bit more consistent. Obviously, Senley struggles a bit with her serve, just being sort of a liability, a weakness. Not that she double faults a lot, but doesn't have it, doesn't have much firepower on it. Doesn't go after it. So she kind of starts the point off on her serve, already a little bit behind. So Wang able to take advantage in that last game and getting that first break. Oh, that's a beautiful backhand up the line. Just, wow, very impressive. Took a short backswing, just moved her feet so well, too, and able to crush that one.
So Wang continuing to set the tone. Here is set point, court number 3, Sienna Leeson and Kristina Kudryaseva in the near court. Trying to put this game to bed here, this set to bed as well. And there it is. So Kristina, the junior out of Moscow, Russia, holding up her end of the bargain.
Yeah, at least, Lisa was able to hold her serve on that second to last game, maybe give her a little bit of confidence going into the second set, making Kudryaseva serve that one out. But a very one-sided first set there in court 3.
Come on, Georgia, big focus. Big purpose. Every ball with purpose.
So now here's Wang serving, up 4-2.
That time going again for that backhand on the line winner. Pulled it a little bit wide, didn't quite get around it as much and as well as that one before, but definitely looking to stay aggressive.
Senley needs this big time. So Wang able to outlast Senley there with the ground strokes hanging in. As she tries to extend to a 5-2 lead. Let's go to court 6 now. Josephine Foster for South Florida. Talked about Nettle. She's had quite a day for Wichita State. And there's the set awarded to Annie Nettle. She takes it 6-2.
2 first sets going to Wichita State in the singles here. Court 3 and court 6. Pretty quick ones. Go back to court 1. See both these girls really emotionally steady, not getting too high or too low, although you can get a little scream there from Senley, but you watch them both on the court. You don't know who's winning and who's losing just from their body language, both staying pretty positive and knowing that this match is going to be a long, drawn-out battle, and they've got to stay calm and within themselves. You go on the change over here, back, staying on serve.
This is one of those days, too, where it's not too hot. Of course, just in mid-March here, a little bit cool here in the Tampa area, but that sun, you can certainly feel it, right, when you're on the court.
For sure, we can feel it on the court. We're in the shade under the bleachers, but on the court, when that sun's beaming down on you, the temperature not very high, but you know, the heat hits the sun hits the hard courts and definitely makes it feel hotter than the temperature will read. And as the match goes on, it'll get warmer and warmer.
So let's go over to court number 5. This is actually the number 4 singles match taking place. So it's Maggie Marcon and Theodora Chanteva. So it's 40 all here, and that another big decisive point awarded to Wichita State, so we're tied at 5.
Yeah, she had a set point there, so she's going to be a little bit disappointed in herself to make an unforced error like that, not even really going for a big shot. Not a good miss. She'll have to regroup and bounce back after that one, and Chanteva will have an opportunity to serve to go up 6-5 and keep the pressure on. And again, I think that error came from the error before, just a little bit frustrated, trying to hit those 2 balls really hard. Coach over there trying to calm her down a little bit, but that's when you talk about leaving the point behind, the point before behind you, you know, and moving on, and can't let it affect the next game.
So Chanteva continues to pound away here. Tied at 5. Good story going on right there. And now here's court number 2 as Rosselli for Wichita State and Charlotte Rude. Young lady we've talked about a lot here this morning, moved up to that number 2 slot. How would she respond? Right now, I'd say she's responded pretty well.
Yeah, so far so good. You know, staying on serve in this match, and 2 very different game styles on this court. Rude loves to hit that hard, flat ball, be aggressive. Rosselli doing a really good job at getting getting every ball back and mixing up the pace and angles.
Hear those loud screams coming.
Rosselli very vocally active, winning some big points, and you can hear from either side of the tennis center, which is great.
Comes out of the Pescara Tennis Academy. As I mentioned, current American Conference Player of the Week. So it's 30 love. Those screams continue. That's not good for Rude as she hits it long again.
Yeah, another big serve there from Roselli. She's definitely not the tallest player out here, but she definitely packs a punch on her serve still. She gets good topspin on it and with a little bit of speed, so it can be tricky. You see Rude standing pretty far back.
A lot of times do you see that too? Facing a younger player, you'll maybe see the more experienced one become a little bit more boisterous, more vocal to try and get in the head of the younger player, perhaps.
No, I never did that. Don't worry.
I'm sure that never happened. Right?
Yeah, you know, you want to kind of assert your dominance over a freshman for sure.
Yep.
You don't want to lose to a freshman, no matter what year you are. But Rude definitely does not play like a freshman.
So 5 apiece as the screams of Roselli echo through the varsity tennis courts here at South Florida.
Hey, let's go. So lucky. Come on, right now. You want it?
This is obviously a huge match for Charlotte Rude. In her country, Norway, when you scream loud like that, that is considered rude. That's a no-no. She's very silent right now. Let's see if she can let her play, do the talking.
Roselli doing a great job at really pushing Rude back behind the baseline so deep that she's not able to attack, not able to use the angles off of her ground strokes. Just really not giving her any free points, any easy balls.
Way to go, Belly!
Finally, Rude there, able to get a good angle on that one, running around the backhand to hit a forehand.
And notice, Jessica, the jobs of the assistant coaches hopping around court to court, giving instruction and just staying with their players, how important that is during a big-time collegiate tennis match.
I mean, it's very important. You know, you need to have that coaching on the court, especially in a tight situation or when you're down really big. You need someone to bounce around on your court. You see, these days, all these teams have 3 coaches, you know, a head coach and 2 assistant coaches, which was not the case, you know, 5, 10 years ago. They have grad assistants, they have interns, so they have a lot of support these days, and which is great.
And you see Logan Burgess-Hayes there doing his best work. Marta Falsetto also, grad assistant on the staff of Christina Moros.
There's definitely a loner there on the court. My coaches knew I didn't want them to be near me.
Really?
Oh, no. If I was winning, they stayed off. If I was losing, it was like, do we go? Do we not go? But there was definitely times I needed it, but if I was winning, they didn't have much to say to me, so they let me be on my way.
You got this, huh?
Yeah.
So 40-15 here in favor of Rude. So Rude will retake the lead here, 6-5. So the good response by Charlotte, and you can tell she's got a little confidence flowing right now. A little high five for her assistant coach, Logan Burgess-Hayes. So we'll head over now as we continue to hop around. Great to have you with us. Drew Felios, Jessica Green. The battle of Shantaven Marcone continues. 40 all here. This is number 4 singles.
Another deciding point for a set point in this game.
So that just wide, and a great moment there for Margarita Marcone, the freshman out of Italy. Very emotional player. We've been talking about letting those emotions be heard, and right now she's feeling it.
Yeah, so she had a set point the last time there was a deciding point when we were watching, and now she just defended a set point. So we'll go into a first set tiebreaker at 6-all. The tiebreaker will be first to 7 points, win by 2. Shantava will have the first serve of this tiebreaker, and then after that it moves to 2 serves each.
Do you like that tiebreaker format? I mean, it is what it is, but is it favorable for you?
I don't mind. I like the tiebreakers within a set. I hate the 10-point tiebreakers to finish a match. I just feel like, you know, I did the work all year long to be in shape to be able to play out a third set, and it's such a long. Even though you think only to 10 points, it actually feels very, very long when you're in it. So many momentum swings, but I like the 7-point tiebreakers for the first to 7. So it's a good format. You see now in pro tennis, in all the Grand Slams, they're not playing it out in the 5th set anymore. They're playing tiebreakers too. So I think tennis realizing that some of those matches in the 5th set for the men could just keep going forever. So bringing that tiebreak format to 3rd set for the women and 5th set for the men.
Oh, that's just out. Marcone didn't think so. So it's 2-0 here in this tiebreak. Keeping you updated too on court number 1. That one's match we've been watching mostly. Senli has taken a 5-4 lead over Wang. We'll continue to keep an eye on that. That's still in the first set. Wide that time.
Your intensity in between shots, all right? Come on, Mags. Let's go. Come on, Mags. Use it. Let's go.
Trying to refocus here in this tiebreak. Shantava now will serve. Up 3-love.
A few misses there after a big point to get to 6-all. She's missed a few balls, a few unforced errors here.
So at 4-0 now. Sometimes too, body language speaks so loudly, doesn't it? Especially in moments like this.
This is where you tell yourself 1 point at a time. Don't think about the score, just play the point. Again, another unforced error. Coach Morris does not look happy after that one. Telling her, Maggie, you got to make her play.
Yeah, I heard that picked up on the microphone there. Simple as that. Coach Morris played at the highest level, won a national title as a player at Texas back in the mid-90s.
Finally gets on the board there. Good first serve. He'll switch sides after 6 points.
Such a mental game, Jessica. I remember the recent speech that Roger Federer made when he was talking about his career, and he said, in the game of tennis, only a certain percentage of points you win. It's not very high, and how important the mental focus is in this great game.
Yeah, I remember seeing the same quote. It was like, you don't really win like a huge percentage of points you play. It's very even, you know. Like, I think it's in the 50-something percent, you know, so it's hardly over half the points. But it just goes to show the margin of error in this game is just so small. And it really comes down to, you know, the mental side of it and just staying mentally tough.
So you just saw a double fault there by Rosselli. Charlotte Rude has gotten it done in set 1. And Rude goes to the bench, so she has answered the call on moving up to 2 singles. Shantava and Marcone continue to battle. This is 5-2 now.
Marcone will try to slowly climb back in this tiebreaker. See if she can get a couple points off of Shantava's serve here. Give herself a chance to serve again. She's gonna look at a second serve here. Oh, she called it out, but changed her call, realized the ball had hit the line, and called it back in. So 6-2 now.
Pretty good dynamic. You've got Greece in the near court, Italy in the far court, 2 of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Have not ever been to Greece.
Really?
Have you?
Number 1 on my bucket list right now.
Okay.
100% Greek too.
Oh,
so
wow, okay. I have
definitely
not been to Greece.
a must do.
Been to Italy several times, but.
And it is Greece taking this one in set number 1. So well done by Theodora Shantava, outlasting that time the upstart Margarita Marcone. So the junior over the freshman there, and that experience, I think, as it went to the tiebreak, Jessica just showed a little bit.
Definitely, Marcone just missing a few too many balls, not realizing she needed to make her opponent play like her coach said, and Shantava able to take that first set 7-6.
So this is court number 1, set point. Here just moments ago, Senley, Melissa Senley, serving far court.
Great job by Senley to win that set after being down a break early on and just staying really steady. And I think, like we said before, you know, can't really tell who's winning and losing on that court. So
Melissa Senley, yeah, she struggled early on in that set, but able to come back. 6-4, gets the nod over Wang as that one goes to set number 2. Wichita State and South Florida American Conference action in tennis begins. More after this. So excited to have you with us this morning from the University of South Florida. Drew Felios and Jessica Green, the former Michigan State Spartan. South Florida and Wichita State battling as American Conference play begins. Gorgeous day here in Tampa, just perfect conditions, not much wind. Was a little bit cool this morning, but has since warmed up, and the play on the court certainly warming up right before our eyes. Bulls had their way in doubles. Wichita State, though, has answered here in singles. They've got a slight edge court to court over the home team. So we're going to start out here, court number 2, where the interesting story continues to unfold. Charlotte Rude got a 7-5 win, won the tiebreak in set 1, and now it's 30-30 Rude serving. Tough break there for Charlotte. Again, minimizing the errors. If you are South Florida, you don't want to give Wichita State much.
Yeah, especially after winning that first set, you got to hold the first game. The second set, it's one of the most important games of a match in terms of momentum and
that one goes long, and you hear the signature yell from Rosselli.
I think that point is the perfect point in terms of showing what Rude needs to work on in her game in order to take the next step again, you know, moving up from 4-3 to 2. But just, you know, winning that first set and having all the momentum and then just missing a couple easy balls, double fault in that first game in the second set. Just needs to stay a little bit more steady and realize that, okay, instead of backing up and hitting that one and trying to hit a winner off that ball, moving up a little bit farther and perhaps taking it on the rise and then not going for as much.
Come back here, court number 1. Good battle we got right before our eyes. Melissa Senley and the Bulls. Zentong Wang and Wichita State. Wang looked like she had that set number 1 in the bag. And a lot of moments there, but Senley just found a way. Mentioned how Melissa Senley doesn't have that big serve, so she starts out, Jessica, a little bit of a disadvantage, but that's what her game is all about, finding ways to overcome.
Yeah, she's made it this far, you know, so she realizes she's got to move well and defend well off that first return to serve shot, and she's learned to, you know, be very successful that way. Long still looking to stay aggressive and use her forehand to control the point.
So 30-30.
Able to force a few errors here off her forehand.
Oh, how about that winner?
Yeah, great inside-out forehand from Senley there. Really sensed that Wong was pushed far back, and she used the angle off the inside-out forehand. Make sure Wong had no chance of getting that one back.
And I mentioned how Senley was leading the number 1 from Texas A&M. At the time, A&M was the best team in the country.
Yeah, very impressive. You know, obviously she didn't win the match. It was just the first set, but even just knowing that she was on that level can give her confidence. Moving forward as Wong puts that short one away after setting at that point really well. She usually really uses her forehand to dictate the point. Runs around it really well, has good movement.
$40 all. Oh, close that time, but just out. So game 1 will go to Wang. And 1-0 here, set number 2. She's got to win this set in order to extend. Bouncing around the complex here. Josephine Foster serving for South Florida. Annie Nuttall on the other side. So Nettle out to a 5-0 lead. So she is trying to put this one here away and make it a quickie.
Yeah, very one-sided match here in court 6, court 6. Which a little bit of a surprise after they played each other in doubles, and Foster just able to close her out, and just obviously her game not there today. Perhaps a bit indecisive. Not really sure what the game plan is, or not able to execute the game plan. Nettle just giving her all kinds of problems today. Nettle coming from Germany, in a town whose name I will not try to pronounce. But I've been told it's about an hour and a half from Frankfurt.
Fair enough. Now 15 all. Talked about, Jessica, how that number 6 player has got to be one comfortable with the pressure on. See how Foster here attempts to battle back. It's going to be tough to turn this match around, but you show some fight, you stay on the court for as long as you can.
Yeah, I was just explaining to someone the other day, there's no shot clock in tennis. There's no, there's no timeouts. There's no time clock. It's just, you could be losing 6-2, 5-0, and you could come back and win because, just takes a couple points, a couple games, and build momentum and find your game, and just like that. She's got to do that a few more times, but stay a little bit more patient, make your opponent hit a few more balls. At this point, you've got nothing to lose, right? So just got to leave it all out there in the court. And also for your teammates, don't want them to see you coming off the court so quickly, and puts a little bit more pressure on everyone else. You got to stay out there and battle as long as possible. Give your teammates opportunity to finish their matches.
30-15 in favor of USF and Foster.
You know what? At the number 6 spot, you're not getting blown off the court. They're playing 6 for a reason, and Coach Morris says, Foster has a very complete game. Great inside-out backhand there. It's beautiful down the line.
So that makes it 30 all. Josephine Foster for South Florida in the near court. She is back from a stress fracture. She suffered that back in December, so had to sit out a lot. Jessica, that's a tough injury to recover from, especially in this sport. All the lateral movement. She's got tremendous tools, though, and good to see her work her way back to gameplay.
Very difficult, especially as a freshman, not getting that early non-conference experience before you head into conference play. Try and build that momentum going forward. So not as many matches under her belt as some of the other freshmen, but will take a little bit more time for her to pick it up.
A point here would go a long way. 40-30.
We got a match point over there in court 6 now.
So a must-have here for Josephine Foster. Only her 4th match here this season. going to go wide. Annie Nettle able to get it done impressively over Josephine Foster. 6-2, 6-love.
Yeah, a hard-fought win for Nettle. Credit to her for just really staying steady and just not giving her opponent anything today, getting that match, getting a little bit of the revenge from the doubles. Really closing it out in a quick fashion.
So first singles match in the books, and that ties the score here. 1 apiece, Wichita State and South Florida. See the varsity tennis courts. Really cool complex here on campus. Have more and more people here slowly kind of filing in.
But we may not be here next year.
I know. Got some big time plans in the works.
Very exciting times.
Tennis center coming to campus almost makes you, Jessica, want to pick up the racket again and see if you got any more eligibility left.
I have no more eligibility left. But I've been told that this is where the football stadium is going to be. That's what our producer was saying earlier. Or the edge of the football facility, so pretty cool for them to not have to go play at the Buck Stadium, although it's a fun atmosphere. I went to a game there last season.
Okay. So it's Wang against Senley here, number 1 singles. Senley took set 1, 6-4.
Hey, more physical.
All Wang here in set 2.
Senley looks like she's backed up behind the baseline and just kind of happy playing defense instead of that aggressiveness we saw in the first set. Wong up a break here, now 2-0. Like she was in the first set, up a break early on. We'll see if she can keep her momentum, and big point here at 30-all. Senley's demeanor on the court has changed a little bit, just shrugging her shoulders down slightly, walking a little bit slower. Not really showing that she's angry or mad, but just a little bit of change with her positioning.
40-30.
It's a tough serve there right into the body of Senley, and draws the air, and rolling 3-love in the set now.
So a good answer here by Wang of Wichita State. Battle of number 1s on court 1. Still hanging into balance. Slide over to court 2. Again, as I mentioned, we're underneath the 10. It's cool here, but you watch the players come off the court, and you can really tell how that sun is, you know, working on each and every one of them. Rude leading 2-1 after taking set 1.
Yeah, has a break point chance here, and she'll get it.
So Charlotte Rude continues to impress. This one of the main storylines. Again, she moved up. She's been at 4, she's been at 3, but now playing in that number 2 slot. And one day you got to think Charlotte Rude, she's going to be sitting in that number 1 slot.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that before you said that I think her game is, although a freshman, you know, it's not unheard of for a freshman to play 1, but I think her game is slowly developing, and I think, you know, Coach Morris probably wants to get her some more experience, perhaps before moving her to that 1 spot. Just so much firepower and just seems to have great attitude on the court and a lot of confidence. Definitely hits a bigger ball than Senley does at the 1 spot, but needs to get some more matches under her belt. Another great forehand up the line there. She's able to really dictate with her forehand, both cross court and down the line. She hits a very consistently paced ball. Deep,
on, keep
hard,
bringing it back.
a lot of spin. Really steady strokes. Doesn't seem to quite have a weakness in terms of forehand, backhand serve. Really just getting those reps in, getting that maturity, getting the confidence building, winning close matches like this against an experienced player coming off, you know, Conference Player of the Week last week. Won a lot of matches.
So it's 30-love in favor of Ruud. In the driver's seat here on court 2.
Really nice. I think I see her mom in the crowd, so perhaps the whole family was in Florida for the Miami Open and her mom able to come up. As I said earlier, their dad is Casper's coach, so down in Miami practicing every day, I'm sure, but nice that her mom's able to be here. And
Charlotte had a nice win streak coming into this match here this morning. Won 5 in a row.
Be positive about this. Come on, shots. Come on for the
Again,
shot.
a little bit
Come on,
under
right.
the radar here at South Florida, but right where she wants to be. Continuing to hammer away. 40-love.
that's just a monster forehand cross court. So impressive. Really doesn't matter where she is standing on the court. She's able to move forward and just crush the ball. Just really, her fall through is so clean. Classic tennis fist pump.
So Charlotte Ruud, 7-5, 4-1. Looks like she is on the verge of taking care of Georgia Rosselli. Head back to court number 1. It's been a seesaw battle here, but in this set 2, it has been all Zhentong Wang.
Steve, be ready to run. Every ball. Come on. Big energy.
Again, as you said, Jessica Senley for South Florida. Just seems like she's moving a little slower, not as sure as herself as she was in that first set. There's the bio from Wang, second-year player from China.
Yeah, after the Olympics in China, or even before that, really, the country really invested in tennis. I see so many players on tour now from China, especially on the women's side, not as many on the men's side, but they really invested financially very heavily, hired a lot of top coaches and brought them in and coached their top players. Obviously, you know, Li Na was the first one leading the way on the tour, you know, winning Grand Slams. And now there's so many top players in the top 100 women from China.
Melissa Senley, on the other hand, representing Turkey. One of the big leaders on this South Florida team. What a competitor she has been this year. Finds ways to stay in matches and outlast her opponents.
Yeah, Coach Morris talks about how she's one of the toughest players she's ever coached here at USF. It's a lot coming from her. It means a lot. Wang has really been relentless this set, just staying super aggressive. Not giving Senley any short balls, anything to really attack. Just constructing her points really well, keeping the ball deep, moving side to side.
30-15.
That's a great change of pace there from Senley. Finally able to get somewhat of a short ball and take advantage and move forward and come to the net. I think that's a great play against Wang. Take time away from her because she does move so well and is getting a lot of balls back in play. I'd love to see her be able to come in the net more.
So it's 30-30 now. Melissa Senley wants to take this set. She's got a lot of work to do. Certainly capable.
Big point here with a look for a second serve. Maybe take a step forward, take a step in on the return, and try and do just that. It's not clean footwork on that ball. Really just kind of stood there like a statue and didn't move around the ball. And when you're hitting an inside-out forehand, you have to really focus on your footwork to get around the ball so you can move forward. Otherwise, you get caught and the ball is too close to you when you're hitting and it ends up going in the net. She hit it there.
You mentioned footwork, probably the most underrated thing in the game.
For sure.
So important.
For any sport, when kids are young playing sports and just learning basketball, soccer, tennis, anything, it's so important to develop that footwork at a young age. Cross-train, play different sports, just get used to different things.
Senley puts it away, so 40-40.
Again, moving forward into the net is such a good play for her. She really has good hands at the net and knows where to be. Depending on what shot she hits, she follows the ball really well. I think these days, parents are so fixated from a young age on having their kids play one sport and just being so good at it. And whether or not their kids burn out or not giving them the exposure to different movements and, balance in different ways. Coaches don't want to recruit multi-sport athletes anymore, which is so crazy to me. That's a great get there. Slice, lob, pass.
Yeah, just bounced inside the line, so it gives another game here to Wang. And she leads 5-0 here in set 2. So this one looks like it's got every indication of going to a third set. Back to court 2, Charlotte Rude.
So we will play out a third set in that match, as the match has not been clinched yet. If it goes to 3 sets.
15 love here with Rude serving.
Rare double fault there from Rude. Her serve has been really steady today in both doubles and singles. I think as she progresses throughout her college career, she hits such a good, hard, deep, flat ball. She can mix it up a little bit with some spin, but that's definitely her A game. I think she needs to probably work a little bit more on her B game, work on her net play, improve some of the speeds on her serve, get a little stronger.
Oh.
Yeah, when the ball's not in her strike zone, she's not too happy. As you saw, Roselli there really able to force her to hit that extra couple balls and just a little bit of slice, and she didn't, Rude didn't move in on it well enough. Her feet weren't underneath her. She reached for that one and not able to get it back over.
$15-30 now. So Rude trying to take down Roselli in 2. Again, a miss hit and a little frustration.
A little opening here for Roselli with 2, really 3 break point chances here, able to put this second set back on serve. take a look at the replay here. Look pretty clean, just a little bit too much.
See the expression, she can't believe it. 15-40.
Oh, that's a beautiful forehand. Able to regroup after missing a couple.
So Charlotte Ruud trying to hang in there. 30-40, up 4-2, set 2. Does not want to give Rosselli any breathing room here. So Charlotte went for it, came up empty that time. So it will be Rosselli getting a game closer. So this was set point here, court number 1, just moments ago. Wang trying to even things up, and she does just that. So it's a set apiece going to a pivotal winner-take-all set 3.
Yeah, and I think Wang definitely has some momentum going into this set. We'll see how Senli can regroup, bounce back, try and stay on serve here. Try and get a back on the board after losing that second set 6-love.
So this is court number 3. Kudryavtseva and Leeson. Sienna Leeson, the freshman from Australia. Told you about her big serve and her big forehand. It's paid dividends here in game 2. She's got a 5-4 lead.
Also serving with a set point right here, looking to push this match into a 3rd set.
Great discipline. Great work.
And she does just that. Sienna Leeson bounces back impressively. 6-4 in set number 2. And we're going to a 3rd.
Yeah, dug out a couple tough balls in that point, able to draw the air from Kudryavtseva, and another 3rd set.
So Wichita State, they knew they'd be in for a battle here on each and every court. That's exactly what they've gotten here in Tampa. South Florida roster with 5 freshmen, exceptionally young. Finding ways to compete. Melissa Senli here, not one of them, the junior from Turkey. Continuing to battle Xintong Wang.
That's the kind of point Senli needs to play every time in order to get back in this match.
Mentally, Jessica, when you go down 6-0 in a second set, it's got to do a little bit to you, right? I mean, how do you bounce back from something like that?
You have to just completely forget about it.
Sure.
And just say, what worked in the first set? What was I doing well in the first set that got me that first set? So go back to that. Go back to your original game plan. Having a little bit more swagger on the court. Pumping yourself up a little bit.
Got to have a little bit of amnesia, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the drop is fierce.
It's too good from Wong there. Senli was so far back behind the baseline. It was a really smart shot from Wong, drawing her in. It's just good enough.
I mentioned bouncing back, getting mentally right. Did you ever have anything as a player? Did you have a good luck charm or a certain thing you did to calm yourself down? Or
No, I'm still searching for that. Do you have any tips?
Oh, man.
Hey, that's a good long point.
I think it's just really important to be able to, like you said, have some amnesia. I think tennis players are pretty good at compartmentalizing things, so, put it in the back of your brain, pretend it didn't happen, and
Oh, just beautiful. So Wang's shot making has been outstanding.
Georgia.
So it's 40-30 here. Wang trying to start fast in set 3. And she will.
Wong using that same pattern, really pushing Senli around the court, using her forehand to Senli's backhand, drawing another error. Senli not able to dig out that wide backhand. And Wong will hold to start this third set off.
So she gets hydrated here. Taking a pause on court number 1. We'll head to court 2. And this battle has been fun to watch, to say the least. Charlotte Rude on one side, Georgia Rosselli on the other. You take a look at Rude, highly touted freshman here on campus.
Good, Missy.
Mentioned if we would see her brother Casper, obviously a celebrity in the world of tennis. Casper not here, but Jessica, you're here. That's a celebrity sighting, right?
Yeah, sure. I don't know what I'm a celebrity of, but maybe in my own home.
There you go.
Hardest match of the year, right here. You know it. You got this.
Did see our great crew before the game. There are a bunch of celebrities. Ken O'Leary, one of them. Bob Herman, another. The rest of the crew. Long hours of setup to bring this to you here this morning. As Rosselli continues to hammer.
Yeah, really changing from, really able to go from defense to offense so well on that point. It's been such a fun match to watch with the two different game styles going against each other. Rosselli just has so much variety in her game. Doesn't give you anything. Pushes you back behind the court, uses the slice on the backhand, hits high, deep balls. Really a lot of credit to Rude so far and just really staying steady and true to her game.
Huge for Charlotte Rude. She needs this game to close it out.
Yeah, you see that Rosselli there sliding. Just such a typical clay court player. Also can slide on the hard court. obviously in Italy, playing on a lot of clay. They have a really big tournament in Rome, Masters 1000 for the men, Premier 1000 for the women every summer on the red clay, just before Roland Garros.
Love it.
Beautiful tournament in the middle of Rome.
Charlotte Rude.
Such a beautifully constructed point there from start to finish.
Just really set that up beautifully, and the finish, you got to be a finisher in this great sport.
Just her balance and her body control and staying steady and making sure her racket didn't come down too much. You know, the ball was so high. Just really, I said earlier, just has a really clean follow through and just finishes every time.
She is literally a couple points away from a huge win in 2 singles. And it would be a huge boost for the Bulls just to know they got one in their back pocket here.
Sometimes when the freshmen come in and coach doesn't really know what to expect, they start playing 6 and 5 and then realize, maybe they're a little bit better than I thought. They didn't have a great fall, but really stepping it up and dual match play, and that's how you end up as a freshman playing 2.
Saw that ball kind of rise a little bit on Rude. Got away from her.
Great run. Great ball. If she hits a winner there, you say too good.
30-30.
Coach Foster has great energy. Doesn't matter what court he's on, we hear him all morning today.
So another one for Rude. She's 1 point away here. Match point. It's going to be on her racket. Charlotte Rude, the freshman from Norway. Flowing with confidence right now. Can she finish the job?
She really has 2 match points, because if it goes to the deciding point, it's also a match point. So
A little too much on that one.
and she'll need the second one here. A little overexcited on that forehand, realizing it's match point, wanting to close it out on a winner.
See Rosselli taking a little bit of extra time here. Is this a little bit of a strategy, would you say, or just kind of slow things down a little bit?
Yeah, trying to slow things down a little bit, making her opponent think about it after making that mistake. And
oh, she gets it done. Charlotte Rude. Nice little backhand to finish the job.
yeah, she not only got there, but she got there with firepower. So credit to her for getting up there so quickly. And
just an outstanding college tennis match we just saw.
so far behind the baseline too, and she realizes that drop shot is coming, and just did such a good job to get underneath it, not just try and get it back, but she really went for it.
So Charlotte Rude fired up. Got those great bloodlines bringing on campus here at South Florida. Her future certainly bright, And the Bulls have a 2-1 lead here over Wichita State. We've got you covered court to court here on ESPN Plus. So matches unfolding before our eyes. And some of them down to their final points. This is number 5 singles here. And match point. So you see Kelly Vargas there battling and battling for the Bulls. Working uphill for most of the morning. She's trailing 5-3 here in set 2.
Vargas just held in that game to get it to 5-4, so giving herself another chance in court 5.
Check in back on court 1. And we've got Wang leading Senli 2-0 here, set 3.
That's just too good from Wong there. Battling it out on that point. So many shots back and forth, and puts the exclamation mark on that one with the inside-out forehand.
Sometimes, Jessica, it just becomes a battle of attrition a little bit, and Wong just looks so solid right now.
Definitely. There's another game point here to go up 3-love in this final set. Just won 8 straight games.
How impressive is that? Good get from Senli. And that's just wide. So right now, if you're Senli, just need a game. Just break some of this momentum. It's 40 all. Sails a bit, so Wong continues her incredible charge here. She has won 9 games in a row, 3-love in set 3. And let's check out this fun match here. We've got Marcone of South Florida and Shantava of Wichita State. This is 4 singles, and this also a match point. just a little bit long. Theodora Shanteva. It wasn't easy, but she'll get the nod. 7-6, 6-4.
Yeah, great match from her. After winning that first set tiebreaker, stayed tough, didn't give any momentum in the second set to her opponent, and ties it up at 2-all, and we're in for it here, right?
So it's the junior over the freshman. And knotted at 2 apiece. American Conference tennis officially here. You know, when it's conference play, just means a little bit more. Feels more competitive as well. Looking at court number 1 now, Melissa Senley. Again, slow getting up. She has had her hands full with Zin Tong Wang. Number 1, sophomore from Wichita State. Wang has shown tremendous balance and just incredible shot making. She has been unbreakable. 9 games in a row now she has won.
Senley going, trying to hit a winner off that really wide ball from Wong, and just not willing to put that extra effort in on that shot to keep the point going. Probably not the best ball to try to hit a winner off of.
How we doing? Working.
So checking back in on the 5 singles players. Kelly Vargas, Lawana they call her here on campus for USF. Tatiana Nikolenko for Wichita State. We got a battle here, 5-5 in set 2. So Vargas trying to hang in, force a third. Vargas, one of the more popular teammates here on campus. Always keeping everybody's spirits up. Got great charisma.
No, vamos.
Hear the Spanish from her.
Yep.
Vamos. Coming from Colombia.
Serving now, 15-love.
This is where you see her positive attitude and just always happy, able to never get down on herself, being down set in a break and a match point and just staying in there fighting with a positive attitude. It's great to see that.
No way.
Referee overruling that call there. Definitely looked into me, even from all the way over here, but glad they got the right call. So Vargas will now serve 30-love in this game.
Tell you what, right now, Jessica Vargas has got some pop.
Oh, yeah. She's got the momentum going for her. She's staying aggressive, and Nikolenko's missing a few more balls than maybe she missed in the beginning of the match. And Vargas staying aggressive and just really staying true to her game plan and her game style. And it's finally starting to pay off for her here. She's got a few game points, go up 6-5. See her bouncing up and down between points. There's such great positive energy. Your opponent sees that. Your teammates see that. Great point construction on that. Moving Nikolenko from side to side. And just crush that forehand down the line for the winner.
So Kelly Vargas, she has found something here. Taking a 6-5 lead. Again, trying to force a third. South Florida's going to really, really need this match because it more and more looks like the battle of number ones is starting to heavily tilt in Wichita State's favor. So Drew Felios here alongside Jessica Green. South Florida and Wichita State continue to battle women's tennis. Brought to you here on ESPN Plus. Bulls came in with a 5-11 record, but playing their best clearly that they've played all year. They've won 4 of their last 6. They knew this would be a really tough task here this morning. And they are neck and neck right now with the very, very good Wichita State program.
Oh, that's just too good from Nikolenko.
Oh.
Wow, Vargas not able to put those couple balls away at the net, and great job by Nikolenko by staying steady and just getting that ball over Vargas's head. Such a good topspin lob there.
Talked about the international representation. Vargas coming all the way from Colombia. She's gone through a lot of injuries in her tennis career. Always smiling, though, bringing those good vibes to the team.
That's a beautiful backhand up the line, just really going for it, using her strength, not afraid to go for it, knowing that ball's just kind of sitting up there. Nikolenko doesn't have too much spin on her shots, hits a lot more flat. Sometimes the ball can just sit up there in your strike zone and just feeling it.
Tatiana Nikolenko once competed for the University of Miami, made the switch though at Wichita State. Couple years of eligibility left. Playing in the Midwest.
Nikolenko doing a much better job on that point, pushing Vargas really far out wide, and didn't quite get there to be able to go for that ball, and draws the air from Vargas.
So it's going to be 30-15 here. Nikolenko trying to dig in, force a tie break.
Oh, and another overrule there on that backhand up the line. Wichita State coach is not happy about the overrule on that.
Jessica, did you happen to see it? What'd you think?
I couldn't see it at all. The pole was right in front, and from this angle, not up high enough to see.
And looks like we're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct, too.
Yeah, the second line overrule is a point penalty.
Wow.
I think it used to be 3.
Oh, my goodness.
But I think it's 2 now, so she gets another point. Wow. It's a big momentum swing. Oh, great pass there by Nikolenko. Yeah, because Vargas hit a solid approach shot and just didn't close the net well enough and cut off that angle. She put the ball right on a dime, though. I'm not sure Vargas really could have done much about that shot. That's where you got to just say great shot and move on to the next one. Now we have a deciding point here. Vargas will choose to take it on the deuce side.
So we've got 3 matches here in progress. First to 4 wins it, tied it to a piece here. South Florida very much in this. And Vargas able to get it done. So going to a set 3 over there in number 5 singles.
Really impressive battling back from Vargas, being down 5-3 and rattling off 4 straight games to force a third set.
Travel over to court number 3. Sienna Leeson, freshman out of Australia for the Bulls. Christina Kudryavtseva on the other side. So it's 30-15. Shockers here serving. Tied at 3, set 3. Wichita State here won set 1, 6-1. Leeson bounced back. Set 2 took it 6-4, and now tied at 3. I'm telling you, this is nip and tuck. Oh, just wide. It's one of the longer points we've seen all day, Jessica.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, isn't this what college tennis is all about? It's coming down to the third set matches on all 3 courts, back and forth, battling, grinding, coming back, having your teammates cheer you on from the bleachers from the other courts. And that's just too good from Kudryavtseva after playing a couple really long points. And that time saying, not so fast, I will hit a winner on this one. So they'll stay on serve on court 3.
So 4-3 there, set 3. Wichita State, the slight lead. Back to that number 5 singles match. Vargas and the far court now serving. Nikolenko trying to hold it down. Set 3 has begun.
Great hands there from Vargas. Nikolenko trying to get that pass again by her on the backhand side, but Vargas used some really nice touch at the net. Very impressive, considering she's not in the doubles lineup, but clearly still has good hands in the net.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Brings it back to 15-all in this very important first game. So important for Vargas to hold, keep her momentum going forward. Vargas continuing to play such controlled offense, just really finding her rhythm. Ball seems to be hitting her strike zone every time, which means footwork is going. Keeps putting pressure on Nikolenko to draw those forced errors.
So we're following all the matches, and Melissa Senley, she has been able to put a couple points on the board in set number 3. She's cut the lead from Wang in half, 4-2. So she was struggling just moments ago, getting hydrated, slowing things down. And I think she's found some of her footing, but that was just in time because Wang had won 9 games, Jessica, in a row. She was just mowing them down on an incredible run.
Yeah, it was now or never, right? So back 4-2, really only down 1 break now. Put a little pressure back on Wang on the service game. Controversial call that got overruled that, frankly, I didn't think it should have been overruled, but who am I to say? Either way, we're here at 4-2. Suddenly with a look at a second serve. We've seen a lot of overrules today. Now you know why they have the automatic line calling in pro tennis now.
Had the chance to do tennis on many occasions here at South Florida. I can't remember a match that we've seen this many long, grinded out rallies as we've seen
Yeah,
thus far
I agree.
today.
Same here. It's been fun, really fun to watch. As you see down the way, the Tulsa men's team warming up to take on the USF men's team. It's supposed to be starting at 2 o'clock.
May just have to push that back just a little bit.
Beautiful backhand up the line. Put that right on a dime in the corner, due side of the court, right between the baseline and the alley line.
This match overall nearing the 3-hour mark. There's a beauty from Senley.
Second serve just sat up right in her strike zone. Went for that one.
Melissa Senley has taken the best that Xing Tong Wang has had to throw at her here today. Can she survive all of it and make a late push here? That's long. So high-level stuff we're watching, and Wang now starting to show maybe just a few cracks.
Yeah, starting to get a little emotional on that side, missing a couple balls and getting a little higher than before and a little lower than before too. And obviously deep in the third sets where the nerves come in, the pressure. When the nerves come in, the feet stop moving, and you have to tell yourself, most importantly, just keep moving your feet. Keep moving your feet.
Christina Moros, USF head coach, told us this game, it's about so much more than just shot making. It's a mental game. You got to pace yourself. Really established that game plan throughout. Tried the drop, not enough on it.
Yeah, I can't say it was a bad choice, but her ground strokes were just flowing in that point, and I know she was trying to mess up the rhythm, and Wong was so far back, but that was a risky play.
Melissa Senley, junior for South Florida, battling here, trying to keep her team alive. That one's going to go awry, and it's Wong now a game away from taking one singles.
Yeah, it was a great body serve. Senley could not get around that to make the return. Wong using everything in her toolbox this afternoon in the third set. After losing a couple games, able to hold there for a 5-2 lead.
So it's Wong over Senley here on court number 1, but much more unfolding. Stay with us, Wichita State and South Florida. Wichita State and South Florida coming down to the wire, tied at 2 apiece. Here as we are deep in singles play. Looking at the number 3s, Sienna Leeson for South Florida, and the far court, Kristina Kudryavtseva, the junior out of Moscow, Russia for Wichita State. So right now it's 15 all. And if Kristina is to take this game, she will clinch it. Take this 1 and 3.
Kudryavtseva struggling a little bit on her second serve today, just not able to get anything on it. And she's hit a few double faults the same way like that. Straight into the bottom of the net. Really needs to accelerate her racket a bit more. Able to hit that top spin, that kick serve.
Kudryavtseva can win this game, that'll take the match here. Oh, it's just a little bit too high that time. Leeson couldn't bring it down. And now it's 30 all. That's wide. So Kruchetseva now, she'll have a couple match points to work with.
Very risky shot to go for there. Pulled all the way out wide to try and take that up the line for a winner. 30-all, down 5-3. And now Kudryavtseva is going to have 2 match points here to try and close out this match in court 3.
Sienna Leeson digging in. Again, Sienna just a freshman. Christina junior, and Leeson will extend at least another point. 40-all. Meanwhile, on court 1, Senley on the brink of pulling a game closer to Wang. Get this sorted out first here. 40-40. Oh, what a winner. How about that return?
Saving 2 match points, down a match point, going for the forehand inside out return winner. Takes a lot of guts, trusting yourself. Now we're back on serve on court 3.
Jessica, you gotta love to see that type of fight from the freshman Sienna Leeson. It's the fight, it's the gamesmanship. It's gonna take her very far.
Definitely, and knowing that Kudryavtseva was really struggling on her serve, just putting all that pressure on her, standing a bit closer, knowing she wants to attack.
Sienna has lost some close matches this year, ones that head coach Christina Morris says she definitely would want to have back. This is one of those chances here where you've got an opportunity to play one you're going to remember for a long time. Logan Burgess-Hayes, associate head coach, given his best coaching to Sienna. All right, back to court 1, Melissa Senley.
Wow, just some unbelievable tennis on both sides. Defense to offense, to defense to offense, and Wong just took the first chance she should get.
I mean, Melissa Senley covered the entire court, and that much more of it. Being stretched to the limit here.
Side to side, and just Wong able to hit that last one for a winner. And we've got a match point here.
40-all, Senley needs this. So it's Wong and Wichita State. Was not easy, but able to get it done in 3, 4-6, 6-0, 6-2, showing why Xintong Wang is the #1 player for the Shockers.
Definitely, and really impressive bounce back from her after losing the first set, crushing her in the second set, 6-love, and then after being up 4-0 in the third, able to stay steady, get it back to 5-2, and close it out for 6-2 in the third.
So 3-2 now, Wichita State, a 1-game lead. And things all of a sudden looking pretty good for the Shockers. Travel back to court 3. And Sienna Leeson. .30-love serving. Down a game here to Kruchetseva. Kristina Kruchetseva, the junior for Wichita State, can close this match out here.
Oh, what a backhand up the line. I don't know if that's what she was really trying to do, but either way it worked.
(30-15). And now it's going to be 30 all. Kristina Kucheretseva now within a point of clinching it for Wichita State. The match of Vargas and Nikolenko continues in the number 5 singles, but it won't matter if Kucheretseva can finish this off. Leeson will have a second serve.
Wow, that was a tough second serve. She went for that one. Takes a lot of guts and went for her shots. Really trusting her forehand and her strength and serve. Not easy to do being down match point. And again, another match point for the deciding point. Kucheretseva will take it on the same side on the ad side that she just played from.
Tense moments here. Long way to go. There it is. Kristina Kucheretseva puts the finishing touches on a Wichita State victory to start out conference play in the American.
What a point. What a way to end the match. I thought she was out of it, and then she got that lob back, and Leeson able to just get it back to, and then at the end of the day, Kucheretseva just hit too good of a point, finishes it off.
I think at the end of the day, Jessica, just a little too much experience on the Shocker side. Again, a freshman in Leeson, the Australian, showing the great talent. But stamina-wise, Wichita State able to hang in just a bit longer. And this point, as you said, just had it all.
Yeah. It had the net play, it had the lobs, running back, and just such a good shot from Leeson, not able to put that one away. That was her chance there, having to run back for the lob.
what a finish. What a match. Wichita State and South Florida, an entertaining 3+ hours of college tennis. Jessica, final thoughts here from Tampa before we turn our attention to the men.
I thought this match today had everything, that could happen in a college tennis match, and credit to Wichita State for really staying tough in the third sets and the deep moments of these matches, and using their experience, like you said, to their advantage.
Well, that does it here from Tampa. Wichita State 4-2 over South Florida. Be sure to join us here again about 1:30. USF, the men's team, takes on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. For my partner Jessica Green and our entire crew, I'm Drew Felios. All games airing on the ESPN Plus network, being streamed live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.